Dear student, this is the third and the last lecture of this chapter number 10 of physics class 10th, that is light, reflection and refraction. So in this we have to study the next topic, that is refraction of light, because in earlier lecture we have already studied about reflection phenomena. Now we have to study in detail about refraction of light. So what do you mean by refraction of light? Refraction of light means that when the light ray is going from one medium to another medium, it is getting bent to a certain extent. This bending of light is called as refraction of light. So in this there is two cases. One is when the light ray is coming from rarer medium and it is going to denser medium, like the light ray is coming from air and it is going to water or glass. So when the light ray is coming from rarer medium and going to denser medium, it will bend towards normal. This is the incident ray, this is the refracted ray. The next case is when the light ray is coming from denser medium and going to rarer medium, that is the light ray is coming from glass and it is going to air, then this is the incident ray and this is refracted ray. So the refracted ray will be getting bent away from the normal. When the light ray is coming from denser medium and going to rarer medium, it is bending away from the normal. So these are the two cases in the light ray is coming. So next topic is refraction of light through rectangular glass slab. So when we have a rectangular glass slab, so there will be a 2 times refraction taking place at this first interface of air and glass, then the second interface of glass to air. So in this, the first incident ray, when it is coming at this interface, it is getting refracted and it is bending towards normal because the light ray is coming from rarer to denser medium. Now in the second interface, when the light ray is going from glass to again air, then the light ray is going to rarer medium, so it is bending away from the normal. This is the incident ray, this is the refracted ray, this is the emergent ray. This I is the angle of incidence, this R is the angle of refraction, and E is the angle of emergence. This angle of incidence will be equal to angle of emergence, and these two rays, that is incident ray and emergent ray, will be parallel to each other and they are laterally displaced with a certain distance between them. So this is the phenomena of refraction of light through glass slab. Now next topic we have to start, that is law of refraction of light. There are two basic laws of refraction of light, as that was in the case of reflection of light. In this, the first law is incident ray, refracted ray and normal at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. And the second law is ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is a constant, which is the ratio of refractive index of second medium with respect to first medium, and this law is also known as the Snell's law of refraction. It is mathematically given as sine of I divided by sine of R, that is equals to constant. That is sine of angle of incidence upon sine of angle of refraction is equal to a constant, that is the ratio of the refractive index of second medium with respect to first medium. Then the next topic is, what is refractive index? Refractive index is the property of the medium, and absolute refractive index of the medium is the ratio of speed of light in air or vacuum to the speed of light in that particular medium. So absolute refractive index will be equals to speed of light in air or vacuum upon speed of light in that medium, that is equals to n or mu, that is equals to c by v. Here n is the absolute refractive index, c is the speed of light in air or vacuum, upon v is the speed of light in medium. In the second, we will be studying that the relative refractive index of medium second with respect to first medium is the ratio of the speed of light in medium 1 to the speed of light in medium second. This can be written mathematically as n21, that is the refractive index of 2 with respect to 1, that is equals to speed of light in medium first upon speed of light in medium second. n21 is equals to v1 upon v2. Then the next topic is spherical lenses. A spherical lens is a transparent medium bounded by two surfaces, one or both of which are spherical. Spherical lenses are of two main types. They are convex and concave lens. Convex lens is thicker in the middle and thinner at the edges. This is the convex lens. This is thick in the middle and it is thin at the edges. Ray of light parallel to the principal axis after refraction through convex lens meet at a point of convergence on principal axis, that is called as focus of that convex lens. Hence, convex lens is also called as converging lens because it converges the parallel beam of light to a single point, that is principal focus of that lens. The second type of lens is concave lens, which is thinner in the middle and thicker at edges. This is concave lens. It is thin in the middle and it is thick at the edges. In this, when the parallel beam of light are coming and after refraction through this lens, they get diverged, and when they are getting retreated back, they are meeting to a one point, that is focus of that concave lens. Hence, this concave lens is also called as diverging lens because it diverges the beam of light which are coming parallel to principal axis. Here, in this case, the image is formed which is virtual and erect, and it is forming at focus of the concave lens. Now the next topic is rules for refraction of light by spherical lenses. The first rule says that when the ray of light is parallel to the principal axis, after refraction through this convex lens, it will be going through principal focus point. In the same way, in concave lens, when the parallel beam of light coming through with respect to principal axis, after refraction, it will be going diverge, appear to be diverge, and when it is getting retraced back, it is meeting at the principal focus of that lens. The second rule is telling when the ray of light is passing through the focus point after refraction through this convex lens, it will be going parallel to the principal axis. In the same way, when the ray of light which is coming and appear to be passing through principal focus, after refraction through concave lens, it will be going parallel to the principal axis. The third rule is saying, when the ray of light is passing through optical center of the lens, it does not deviate its path. It means when the ray of light is coming through the optical center, it will retrace its path and does not deviate along its path. In the same way, in concave lens, when the ray of light is coming through optical center, it will go without deviation. Now we have to study the different cases of the image formation by convex lens. So in convex lens, there are 6 cases formed, as we have earlier studied for the concave mirror. So the first case is when the object is at infinity. When the object is placed at infinity, the incident ray are coming parallel to the principal axis, and after refraction through convex lens, they are getting meeting at one point, that is principal focus of that lens. Hence the image is highly diminished, pointed size, and the image is real and inverted. This is the first case. The second case is when the object is placed beyond 2f. When the object is placed beyond 2f, the image formed on the other side will be between f and 2f. So object is placed beyond 2f and the image is formed between f and 2f. The image is diminished, real and inverted. The third case is when the object is placed at 2f, the image is formed also at 2f and the object is of equal size as that of the image, or we can say that the image is of equal size as that of the object. Image is of same size of the object, real, inverted. Then fourth case is when the object is placed between 2f and f, the image formed will be beyond 2f and the image is enlarged, real and inverted. The fifth case will be when the object is placed at f, the image formed will be at infinity and the image will be highly enlarged, real and inverted. Then the last case is case number 6, when the object is between f and optical center, the image formed will be on the same side and it will be enlarged, virtual and erect. It means this image cannot be taken on screen. This is a virtual image and it is erect image. It means this is on the same side, not inverted. These are the 6 cases of convex lens. Now we will be studying for the image formation for concave lens. So the first case is when the object is placed at infinity. The object is placed at infinity, then the image is formed on the same side at f, focus of the concave lens. This image is highly diminished, pointed size, virtual and erect. The second case is when the object is placed between infinity and optical center. So the object is placed between infinity and optical center. This is not f, this is optical center. The image formed will be between optical center and focus, and the image will be on the same side of the lens, it is diminished, virtual and erect. These are the 6 cases of convex lens which we have just earlier discussed. So this is in the form of table format. You can write in your copy. In the same way, these are the image formation, that is the 2 cases for concave lens. In concave lens, there are only 2 cases. So these are the 2 cases for concave lens. You can also write in this table format. Now the next topic is sign convention for spherical lenses. As we have discussed the sign convention for the spherical mirrors, in the same way we are discussing here the sign convention for spherical lenses. The sign convention for spherical lenses is same as that of the spherical mirror, except that the distance are measured from the optical center, that is O. So in this lenses, all the distances are measured from this center point, that is the optical center O. The distance in this direction towards the left of the lens are taken as negative. The distance towards the right of the lens are taken as positive, and object is always on the left side placed. Direction of the incident light is in this direction. All the upward heights are positive, all the downward heights are negative. So this is the sign convention. Now the next topic is lens formula and magnification formula of the lens. So the lens formula is 1 by V minus 1 by U is equals to 1 by F. The difference in mirror and lens formula is, here there is a positive term coming in mirror formula, but in lens formula here there is a negative term coming. So here V is the image distance, U is the object distance, F is the focal length of that lens. And the magnification formula is M is equals to height of image upon height of object, that is HI by H naught, and this M magnification is HI by H naught is equals to V by U. So in mirror case, that magnification was HI by H naught minus V by U, but here in lens case the magnification is HI by H naught V by U. Here there is no negative term coming. So this is V is the image distance, U is the object distance. Now this is the last topic, that is power of the lens. Power of the lens is the reciprocal of focal length of the lens, and the focal length is measured in meter. So power of the lens is equals to 1 by F, and focal length is in meter. So F focal length will be 1 by P. The SI unit of power of lens is diopter, and it is represented by capital D. 1 diopter is the power of lens whose focal length is 1 meter. The power of convex lens is positive, and the power of concave lens is negative. That's all. The chapter is over.